All right. Here we go, back again on the other side of the coin.
All right, we are back again on the other side of the coin, ladies and gentlemen. These matches, as I've always said, just coming thick and fast at the moment. And, let's enjoy it, of course, because very soon it's going to be international break again, and it's going to be quite boring, and we're going to be all asleep once again. So it's good. It's good that these matches are here. We've got now the part 2 of this particular preview for Chelsea versus Manchester City. Part 1 is already up live in the videos. Do check that out. I've also put it on the messages pinned. It's with Saj, who's Matisse, if you guys know, who's another Chelsea content creator. His mate Saj is a Manchester City fan, and I've had him on my channel and to basically give you guys the Manchester City perspective. So do check that out as well. We're here to now do the Chelsea perspective. Obviously, we saw the press conference, so we'll just go through a couple of points from this. Some really key points, some interesting things to talk about. And then we'll get straight into the Chelsea lineup. We'll talk obviously about the match and how important it is and whatnot. And then we'll do the score prediction. But before we do all of that, Ishan, my man, how you doing?
I'm doing great, man. It's good to be back. Premier League match preview settings with Dan the man. It can't get any better. Let's do this, man. Getting excited. It's a big match.
Absolutely, it's a big match, and I'm so glad to have the team here to do this particular preview. I mean, Daniel, my boy, how you doing?
I'm doing very well, mate. I got to say, I'm really starting to vibe the Friday night preview. It's becoming a staple of my Friday routine. But yeah, huge match. Absolutely buzzing for this one, and an early kickoff too. So, I can get to bed at a reasonable time of the day, which is just fantastic.
I love the early kickoff. I wish it was always early kickoffs for us. But you know what the crazy part is, Daniel? In about a couple of weeks' time, the early kickoff will be, I think, around 11:30 for us because of the daylight savings and in UK as well. So I guess 11:30 is not that bad. But yeah, 9:30, I'll take it any day of the week. For the people that don't know, for Australian people, especially on the east side of Australia, the matches are going to be at 9:30 for us, which is brilliant. 9:30 p.m. that is, so perfect. Or else we watch it in insane times. To the live chat, thank you so much. Nearly 30 of you guys are live already. Please smash the like button. Let's get those likes up to 30 straight away. It would be amazing to reach the 100 likes in the stream first up, and then obviously we chase for more. But let's get those likes up to 30 immediately, and then if you're here for the first time as well, subscribe. I'm literally about 250 away from 8,000 subscribers, so let's truly get there, together. Obviously, all your support means a lot to me. So, Dazan, thank you so much for joining, my man. Frederick, thank you heaps. As always, you're here. Tumo CL, thank you, my man. You're always here as well. Calvin, thank you heaps. Nanda Kumar, thank you heaps for joining, my man. Tiz is here. Nathan A is here. Ricky Wheeler, the Coin Gang. Yes. The Coin Gang, the Coin family. We're here. Okay, let's get the show rock and rolling. Ishan, the first blockbuster news, Mason Mount, he's injured. I had no idea there was any injury news that was going on. None of the Chelsea journalists reported anything about it. Thomas Tuchel said that it was a minor injury that he picked up against Aston Villa in the Carabao Cup. Had the game been maybe a day later, maybe on a Sunday as opposed to Saturday, he might have even made that particular game. But this particular game, because of the early kickoff as well on the Saturday, it's a bit too early for him. He'll miss this one. Most likely he'll be back for the Juventus game. I mean, I personally didn't have Mount starting in this game anyway. I had the three midfielders, Kovacic, Kante, and Jorginho with two up front. Obviously, we'll talk about the lineup down the track. For me, I don't know. It's not a huge loss for me. But, of course, Mason Mount's value is unbelievable. I completely understand that. But, yeah, how are you feeling about this? It's just the one match, and he should be back for the Juventus one.
I think so. He said multiple times it's just a minor injury, and I don't think so we should be much worried about that. But the thing is, I think so Thomas Tuchel, the way he sounded, I thought that he would have used Mason Mount in this game, because we all know Mason Mount the way he played against Man City, all the three occasions, the last time that we beat them, Mason Mount was really, really important for us. His off the ball work rate against, his one-on-ones against Fernandinho and Gundogan really, really paved off for us really well. And I think so that might uh, be a concern for Thomas Tuchel. I thought that he might have used him, but at the end of the day, like you said, for us it should not be that much of a concern because we've got lots of options in our bench and we can use them. But yes, there are some other injury concerns as well. But like you said, there are many options, and Mason Mount should be back, back until the next game. So it's not a big deal. But yes, I think so. I definitely would have kept him in my team if I had to make one. But then it's fine. I mean, he's a guy with immense work rate, and he gives his 100% commitment to the game. But again, if he needs rest, even if it's a minor injury, he needs rest. He fully deserves it.
No, absolutely agreed, man. I mean, Daniel, you're in the same boat as well. That look, minor injury, no need to risk it. Rest up. You'll be back for Juventus most likely. But I mean, how are you looking at it? Are you worried that we don't have this particular player against City?
Look, I'm kind of glad to see Mason Mount get a period of rest. He's just one of those players that seems to be playing such. He's every week he's on the team sheet, and I think that's fantastic. He's a young player developing his game, getting better, getting more first team experience. But this man needs a rest. Thomas Tuchel, he wasn't super clear as to the extent of the injury, but personally, I'm not so sure if he even gets in my starting 11 for this match. It's been a tough start to the season for him, I think, but I think he's a player that we can certainly, still get a result without, but I'm sure for his sake, he's very disappointed because this is a huge fixture.
Yeah, no, 100%. I mean, he had such a big part to play in the Champions League final, that assist for Havertz's goal. I'm sure he would have thrived to play against City, after the win in the Champions League. But nonetheless, as you said, it's early in the season. We want him to be, that longevity. We need that for the rest of the season. So a break is absolutely fine. Ishan, the next big news. I mean, Thomas Tuchel just came out and said it. We don't even need to worry about it. Maybe when we do the lineup, we can just plug that person's name in there automatically. Edouard Mendy is starting. He confirmed it. He's going to start. Yeah. There is no doubt about this at all. He's back from his injury, whatever the case was. I believe that must have been that rib injury that he collected against Zenit. So he's back from that. I mean, Kepa during the time was really good. In fact, he's as a backup, he was extremely good. But are you glad to see the number one goalkeeper for Chelsea Football Club back and, I suppose, restoring that defensive faith, even though with Kepa, we still, maintained a, solid defense as well. Obviously, against Aston Villa, there was a lot of changes, so we can't really comment on that. But how are you feeling about Mendy coming back?
No, I mean, I feel secured, more than secured, but don't get me wrong, Kepa has been really, really good.
Yeah.
Very good. He has, just completely ticked all the check boxes that he needed to do as a substitute when Mendy was injured, and he has to do that again when Mendy goes out to play AFCON. So Kepa, like I said, he will be a big part of this team for the whole season. And this was just the trailer that he needed to do, just a couple of matches. Well, for the Carabao Cup, I think so it was expected Kepa would have been playing regardless of Mendy's injury. Kepa was playing that for sure. So I'm not surprised with Kepa's performance in the Carabao Cup, but against Tottenham, it was a great performance by Kepa. And now having Mendy back, it just gives you a confidence back. The confidence is back because he is our number one keeper, and he's a long-term number one keeper as it is considered, and he comes ahead of Kepa, regardless of Kepa's brilliant performances in the past few weeks. But again, Mendy coming back to the taking back the gloves, it gives confidence for our defenders as well. And I've seen that once Mendy comes and joins the gang, I think so even our defenders are more confident. You see better communication there between Rudiger, Mendy, Christensen, Thiago Silva. If he plays, better communication going on there, and our defense feels more rigid there. So yeah, it's good to be back. And again, Man City might have been thinking, oh, it's going to be a Kepa again, so maybe we can
take some long shots.
Yeah, take some long shots. So we've got De Bruyne. He's good at long shots. No. Man, mate, Mendy is back, and you gotta take a lot of tensions now.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, Daniel, you're glad to see Mendy back. I mean, there is a shout. Look, Kepa's been brilliant though in recent times. I can't say anything negative about him, and he looks very confident. But are you somewhat happy as well that there is an off chance that players like Kevin De Bruyne, Mahrez could go for those long shots, and someone like Mendy is there? You feel far more protected, knowing that he should do the job, hopefully.
I mean, of course, having Mendy back in the team is a phenomenal asset to Chelsea. He's had the most clean sheets of any goalkeeper in Europe, alongside Edison of Manchester City. But he provides that world-class goalkeeping that and credit to Ishan, or credit to Azpilicueta, Kepa. He's been absolutely fantastic these past 2 matches. He's really done a good job, and that's no easy feat when you've come under immense criticism for having this the world record goalkeeping transfer fee and a poor season under Frank Lampard. It was very difficult for him. You can't underestimate the pressure that was on this man. So for him to pop up with 2 top performances, full credit to him. And look, I have a lot of confidence moving forward that this partnership can actually be a really valuable thing for Chelsea, because like Ishan said, the African Cup of Nations coming up, in 2022, we're going to need Kepa. So the fact that we're, giving him ample first team opportunities is a good thing for Chelsea.
100%. And I'm pretty sure Mendy, I believe he plays for Senegal, right? He plays for the Senegal.
Yeah.
They're one of the better teams in Africa. So they'll probably go quite far in that competition. And we will need Kepa for a little while. So
they're one of the best teams there.
They're one of the best teams. There you go. So, I'm glad we've got someone like Kepa as a backup keeper to do the job, and his confidence is so high at the moment. I'm very, very happy. Okay, let's change things up a little bit. I'll go to you, Daniel, this time. Man City versus Chelsea, Thomas Tuchel versus Pep Guardiola. Those were the questions that were circulating around in the press conference a lot. But Thomas Tuchel did not want to entertain any of it. He kept on being humble that, I don't want to compare myself with Pep. I respect Pep a lot. I respect Man City a lot. They've achieved heaps. But I must say, though, Daniel, I think Chelsea's got their number at the moment. I think Chelsea's got a bit of an edge over Man City. And I think Pep Guardiola, Thomas Tuchel's living in his head rent-free for the time being. I feel Thomas Tuchel has just got him nicely where he wants, and he's got a strong grip on him. That being said, I do respect, obviously, utmost respect for Man City. They're an unbelievable team. But do you feel maybe this, we've beaten them last 3 times in a row under Thomas Tuchel since he's taken over. It could be 4th time coming. I mean, how are you feeling?
Well, certainly in recent memory, Thomas Tuchel has gotten the one up on Pep Guardiola. We look at his tenure as the Chelsea manager. He's 3 from 3. In all 3 occasions, Pep Guardiola has tried to out-tinker him with his tactical lineups. And all 3 times it has massively backfired. The ones that come to mind, that performance at the Etihad where they tried to match Chelsea with the back 3 to play those mind games heading into the Champions League final. Didn't work out. And then, of course, the Champions League final, opting to start İlkay Gundogan in that holding midfield role. And that, again, completely backfired. So it's been fascinating seeing Thomas Tuchel, or this rivalry that Thomas Tuchel seems to, on every occasion now, seem to basically get the better of Pep Guardiola, which is fascinating. And I think what's really interesting is if you look at the history of these two in their competitive fixtures against one another. When Thomas Tuchel was at Mainz, he lost both those fixtures, and I think it's hard to compare those those circumstances because this was when Pep was at Bayern. He has a significantly stronger squad. He then goes to Dortmund. He loses that first game 5-1, gets battered by Pep Guardiola. But since then, Pep Guardiola, the next game he drew 0-0. The other game he did lose again, but on penalties. But it's really interesting in the last 5 matches against Chelsea, against Thomas Tuchel rather, Pep Guardiola has only managed to score 1 goal. So it has been brilliant seeing how Thomas Tuchel has been able to put on these defensive masterclasses. And yeah, look, I am, and for that very reason, I'm full of confidence that once again, Thomas Tuchel will know how to outmaneuver Pep.
Nah, for sure, man. I'm feeling confident. I mean, Ishan, it's a very good point because I talked about this last season where previously when Tuchel played Pep Guardiola, Mainz, Dortmund, Pep had the Bayern, the great team of Bayern. So it wasn't always the right matchup. Whereas now, Chelsea, Man City, since Tuchel took over, it's quite even. Yeah, okay, fine. Man City have star-studded quality as well and great depth, but so do we. And I feel like now the tide may be slowly changing, and the gap between the two teams is probably reduced a lot, even though we haven't played at our best yet this season, which is the scary part because we've been winning. I mean, how are you feeling, man? I mean, do you feel the gap between the two teams has, gotten closer?
It has eventually has, but it might take time to prove that, but it eventually has. The best part about this is the best part for the whole press conference, Miss, is the exact second question which was asked to him just after the injury concerns. It was said that, listen, it was Thomas Tuchel was asked that it's 3 out of 3 in the past 3 games, and this is going to be the 4th one. So he was asked that now now Chelsea knows how to beat Man City. Thomas Tuchel knows how to beat Pep Guardiola. What do you think about that? And Thomas Tuchel gave a cold, chilling answer. He said that there was a time when I heard voices saying I did not know how to beat Pep, but you all can speak what you can speak. Oh, that gave me chills, man, because now it's like he's in the minds of Pep Guardiola, and that's something commanding there. But the thing here is, again, he tried to just pave the way out. He said that, listen, it's not a game of tennis between me and Pep. It's a team game, and we do it for the team. It's a team sport, and that's how he answered that. But the thing is, he knows that there were times when people were saying that you did not know how to beat Pep, and look at the scenario now. It's just turned over upside down, and now Pep might be thinking that how do I beat this guy? No, but the thing here is, I think so. Pep Guardiola is one of the best managers that we've seen in world football.
For sure.
So should we say that Thomas Tuchel is in his head? Maybe not. But just the thing is, Pep is the enemy of his own. When he thinks too hard, that's when he becomes very much scratchy, and that's when the decision making just takes a toll on him.
He outthinks himself.
It's not Thomas Tuchel. Listen, we've been playing the way we play. It's been 1 year. It's been almost 1 year, since January Thomas Tuchel took over Chelsea, and right from game 1 we've been playing with the same system. There's not been much change there. It's just that there are some in-game management, there are some tactical changes that you talk about, but the foundation, the system of Thomas Tuchel's gameplay is the same. And you could if you're a good manager of your team, you know how your team plays well, and I'm sure Pep Guardiola does know that, then you should actually give a good team, bring out a good team against us. But the thing is that Pep Guardiola tries to do something new, tries to just take something out of the pocket which might surprise us, but then at the end of the day it becomes harmful for himself. So that's the thing. I mean, listen, Pep is one of the greatest managers, and I don't think so it might be in his head. If Thomas Tuchel is in his head, well and good. You make another wrong decision and we are there to capitalize on those mistakes and just take the game away. But the thing is, now this is a big statement. Man City fans claim that they're they're the Premier League champions, and it's irrelevant if we win 3 out of 3 and win 4 out of 4. But listen, being the champs, if you're losing 3 out of 3 against us, that's a big thing, and that's why you're getting humbled. Now, next, this is the fourth one, and it's in Stamford Bridge. Looking at the scenario, looking at everything, looking at the way we're playing, it's definitely a concern for Pep Guardiola. And just looking at the game against Liverpool, the way we managed to just pluck 1 point, steal 1 point from the whole scenario, they might be thinking that, oh, come on, it's actually difficult to score against these guys, and they do not have a proper striker against. There's a flaw there. So again, it'll be a good battle, I think so. But I would like to say that we definitely have an upper hand, and I'm confident about this.
No, 100%, man. No, well said. Let's talk a little bit about the match now before we go into the predicted lineup. Ladies and gentlemen, we've got over 50 people. Let's smash the like button, get the likes up to 50 straight away. Literally about 24 likes away from 50, which would be great. Let's get to that as a first target, and then we'll chase the 100. So let's push those likes up to 50. And if you're here for the first time, subscribe. Check out the guys and their socials in the description as well. Make sure you follow Daniel, especially on his YouTube channel. The link is there right now. I mean, Daniel, let's talk about the match, because Ishan said something very, very interesting. And I've said this in my first preview, part 1, with the Man City fan, Saj, that I feel defensively, when you look at both the teams, our defense is stronger than their defense. You look at the three. I know we play different styles. They've got 4 at the back. We've got 3 at the back with the wing backs. But you look at our defenders, Rudiger. I'm pretty sure Rudiger, Thiago Silva, Andres Christensen, those probably the 3 they'll start. Obviously, we'll talk about the lineup down the track. Got Alonso, Azpilicueta. Whereas apparently they've got some injury issues as well. They could possibly start with Nathan Ake, Diaz, Kyle Walker, and Cancelo. I feel like defensively we're just too much for them. And as Ishan said, they don't really have that striker. They've not been able to get that striker. Harry Kane did not make that trip down to Man City. Obviously, Daniel Levy played a big role over there. They chased Cristiano Ronaldo, which didn't happen, ended up going to Man United. So they were left with no strikers. Obviously, Aguero left. They're playing with a false 9. I mean, our midfield it can match them. Obviously, their midfield is far more creative, but our midfield is quite industrious in the way that we can control the ball, keep possession. I mean, how are you feeling? Do you feel that's where the difference maker is, that our defense is probably a bit too strong for them, and we've got big Rom up front that could do the damage against them?
Yeah, it's certainly a positive factor that we have brought in a top-class centre forward, whereas Manchester City haven't really improved in that front. And I think in the past, they have struggled to break down this Chelsea team, as has almost every team in Europe, really. But against Chelsea, you need to have the very best attacking players. And yes, Manchester City have an abundance of attacking creativity, but without that real reference point, I think they're going to struggle. I mean, a year ago, let's not forget, they were playing this same system and absolutely tore us apart. But this this seems like a lifetime ago, and it's a true credit to the work that Thomas Tuchel has done, because I remember watching that fixture and thinking, my goodness, this team is light years ahead of us. And in the space of the year, he's completely shifted the trajectory of this football club. And now looking at how Chelsea pair up against Manchester City, in midfield, I'm confident. Defensively, I'm very confident. And now the thing that starts to excite me is, we have that real attacking quality. Now, we're yet to really get that front 3, front 2, whatever you think it's going to be. We're yet to really get it firing. But I think Thomas Tuchel will progressively build on that. He's been a defensive coach for the majority of his tenure as Chelsea manager. So now, maybe in this fixture, I'm not so sure. It's a difficult one to assess, but maybe this is a fixture where we start to see more influence from our attacking players, because I think that is the one area that we still need to definitely improve on, but I'm full of confidence.
No, absolutely right, man. I mean, besides Romelu Lukaku, who's been scoring some really good clutch goals, the inside forwards, we've said it, Ishan knows it as well very well. They do need to wake up. I said it, they're still living in last season. They need to start waking up that this is season 21-22.
100%.
Better wake up and get on with it immediately. I mean, Ishan, let's talk about the importance of this match. Of course, I mean, 2 title contenders for me. You got Man United, Liverpool, City, and Chelsea, 4. So this is a match between, in my opinion, 2 title contenders, both so strong. They should be. The title this season won't be like a runaway like previous seasons where a City or a Liverpool ran away with it. I think it'll be closely bunched. For me, I don't know. I'm not going to say if we lose or if Man City loses, it's the end of the world, but it will put a bit of a dent in the confidence that this is the kind of team that you want to beat and you know, put that stamp of authority that we are here to win the title this season. Is that how you feel as well, Ishan, that tomorrow at Stamford Bridge, we should be 100% looking to beat this Man City team? Let's be honest, they've been beaten by Spurs earlier, the first game, which was a shock result, fair enough. Obviously, then they pasted Norwich and Arsenal, but they had a draw against Southampton as well. I mean, Ishan, is it the end of the world if we don't get the win, or how you sort of balancing this game now?
Look, it is an important game. It's a Premier League game. It's an important game against Man City. Any game is an important game. It's a creme de la creme game. Man City is not just one of the best teams in Premier League, but one of the best teams in world football right now. And to be very honest, looking at it as an overview in Premier League, Liverpool, Man City, Man United, I think so. These 3 are the teams where I consider to beat very, very importantly, because these 3 teams will be there in the title race and will be challenging you up there. Later on the season when you go there, definitely these three teams will be considered, and these 3 teams will actually, I find, at our level now, because I feel that from the team sheet, looking at the team list, and also performance wise, these we 4 teams, Chelsea, Liverpool, Man City, and Man United, these 4 teams are going hand in hand and giving tough competitions to each other. So beating these teams would, just like you said, make a mark, make a standpoint of our authority here, that we have been performing better, we're performing good. Like I said in the Liverpool game as well, if we win this, we'll make a mark and we'll make an authority that, listen, we're here to win this league this time. And I'll say this again, that if we beat Man City, it's Pep Guardiola's team at the end of the day. It's the Premier League defending champions, and if we beat them, regardless it's Stamford Bridge or at the Stadium, wherever, Man City game is that important. And if you beat them, it definitely makes a mark that we are in the title race. And at this early stage, definitely it would make a mark that we're in the title race, and the other teams also should be very well aware that we are not here to sell peanuts. We are here to just go there and grab the title. That's it. So yeah, also in terms of competition level, you would see that from individual player performances, who is better, who needs to improve, what are the areas that you need to improve, because Man City will take you to that limit. These guys will push you to that limit. It's not easy to beat Man City, because they are the champs, and we have to acknowledge that they are, and it's not easy. And once you beat them, you know which player needs to improve, which areas needs to improve in our whole formation. Is it the defense or the midfield, the strikers or the flanks? Where do we need to improve? Where are we lacking behind? So these are the games where it just not marks an authority, but it also shows us the mirror that, listen, here you face probably one of the best team in the world football, and not just in the Premier League. These are the areas you need to improve and start working on it, and that's how you improve. So that's why these games are so important. We passed the test. I would say passed the test against Liverpool, because that game was very tough. And looking at the circumstances, we stole 1 point from that. So I would say pass the test. It's time to pass this test too.
No, 100%, man. Absolutely agreed. I mean, ladies and gentlemen, let's get on with this lineup prediction for Chelsea. And I feel like this is the 3-5-2 era that we could possibly start seeing. I mean, I want to ask the boys, before we actually even start doing the lineup, You thinking 3-5-2, or you're thinking the traditional sort of 3-4-3 that we've been going with? Obviously, the inside forwards. I'll go to you, Daniel, first up. You thinking 3-5-2 here, or maintaining the normal sort of status quo?
I think after the performance at Tottenham, or the response to switching to a 3-5-2 against Tottenham, it would be hard to argue against it, especially without Mason Mount. We don't really have that central or inside forward that will do that defensive job. So I personally, if I'm trying to think as to what Thomas Tuchel's thinking, I think we'll see a 3-5-2, but I could be wrong. I love how Thomas Tuchel, you just never know with how he's going to line up. But if I'm a betting man, 3-5-2 with Jorginho, in that holding midfield role, and then Kante and Kovacic.
No, for sure. That's how I'm thinking as well. Ishan, you're thinking 3-5-2 as well? Or you're thinking the way we've been always lined up, 3-4-3 with obviously the inside forwards?
I don't know, man. I'm confused a little bit here, because I know where we're going with the 3-5-2, and I definitely know where we're going with the 3-4-3 as well. It's just the difference of one player, and the formation changes here and there. So I don't know, man. I mean, we'll talk about this later.
All right.
But I'll go with 3-5-2 as well. Yeah.
We'll talk about it, because I want to hear what you have to say as well. We'll mix and match it up. Live chat, get in on the act as well. Let us know what your lineup is and why you're doing that. We've got over 70 people. Smash the like button, get those likes up to close to 70, and we can start aiming for 100 very soon. As I said, to get 100 in the live stream would be amazing. And if you're here for the first time, subscribe. We're very, very close to 8,000 subscribers, which would be fantastic. And check out the boys and their socials in the description right now, and make sure to follow them as well. Okay. Well, as I said, I think this is not even a debate anymore.
Some prerequisites.
Thomas Tuchel has said he's starting, so we already know what's going on there. The back three, I'll go with mine first, and then I'll ask each and both of you guys to see what you have to say. Really got a good rest in the Carabao Cup, so he should be fresh and ready to go. So for me, he definitely comes back. Silva played an outstanding game against Spurs. Was I think he was the man of the match for that particular game. Could have been another player, but I think it was Silva. Correct me if I'm wrong. Pretty sure it was Silva for that particular match. So I'll have Silva back, and he'll be absolutely buzzing to play against City, and his experience will go a long way. To be honest, a lot of people say, "Oh, but Silva's so slow." It's not about being slow. It's about reading the game quicker than anyone else, and that beats the pace. You don't need Silva to just run up and down here. He's not a box-to-box player. All you need to do for Silva is read the play and cut things off, and that's exactly
box to box defender. Miss, have a
box to box defender. So you don't need that. For me, he is Andres Christensen. It'll be the same setup, I feel like, against Spurs. People don't understand. I think we could possibly see Christensen play a bit more here, especially in the big games where Silva needs to play and Christensen needs to play. Obviously, any other matches, Christensen will probably pop into the middle. And as Ishan and Daniel previously have said a few times, that generally, I think it was Ishan, like generally Azpilicueta is not someone that misses big games. If, for that matter, misses any games for Chelsea. So that's the other reason, because I'll pencil down Azpilicueta as one of the, as the right wing back. But I'll go to you, Ishan. The back three, this is how you're going to be setting it up, or you're thinking something else?
Yes, I think so. I definitely agree, and I'll go with this first of all. But there's an alternative. There is a chance that you might see Azpilicueta in the right centre back, and you might see actually Reece James as a right wing back player. So that's an alternative. If you would want to play Reece James, this is the way we'll be laying out the formation with the back three with Reece James, and we have Azpilicueta. That means Christensen gets the rest. Or there's another alternative that but I don't think so that'll happen, because Thiago Silva had an exceptional performance against the Spurs, and I think so he should start as well. So this I would go with.
And he
this
had the break as well. He had the break against Aston Villa.
As well. And also Christensen as well had a break.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think so. I would go with this, but there is an alternative. If Thomas Tuchel would want to play Reece James, then we might see the likes of Aspilicueta playing in that Christensen position, or else it'll be this.
Yeah, no, fair enough, man. I mean, Daniel, you going with this same three as well, or mixing it up?
No, I'm definitely well, yes, I'm going with that back three. Absolutely. That back three picks itself. All three of them have just been fantastic. It was fantastic seeing Silva and Rudiger get on the score sheet at Tottenham. Just absolute scenes. But yeah, I think this one picks itself. It's great that all of the back three was able to be rested in the midweek game. Very interesting that we didn't play in a back three, but the fact that, Trevor Chalobah and Malang Sarr got some game time, which allows these three to get some rest, is a good thing. And just another thing, how good is it starting to see Andreas Christensen become a mainstay in the starting 11? I mean, he is a player to me that I just love because, he's come through the academy at Chelsea. He's broken into this team. I think in previous instances, he's been unfairly criticized, being considered soft. But it's clear now this man is integral to the Chelsea team. Last year, if Silva was playing in that back three, Andreas Christensen would be dropped. But now, no matter what, Andreas Christensen's got to get the start. And yeah, I'm loving this back three personally.
Yeah, man. I mean, already I've seen a couple of comments saying, especially Football Style, saying that possibly not AC in the lineup. As you said, Daniel, I mean, he is an integral part, and there are still fans out there that probably don't think that he's as integral. I'm with you as well, Daniel. He's going to start, and people need to start understanding that how valuable he is. He's the future. This is the player that Chelsea will build the defense around, and his contract extension is just around the corner. I think it's all done and dusted. Matt Law has said it as well. And we shall see this particular player play a lot more. People need to start realizing that. We're probably not going to see a lot of Silva. We're probably going to see Silva in like key matches like this, and we're going to see a lot of Andreas Christensen. Okay, Ishan, I'll go to you with the wing backs. Who are you going on the right side, and who are you going on the left side?
Yeah, so right side has to be Aspilicueta with this set of settings, and left side has to be Marcos Alonso. But happy of the fact that Chilwell got his start, and it was his first start after the Champions League final game. So big up to him, and he had a decent game. He didn't do anything bad there, but you just can't drop Alonso. You just can't drop this man at this point of time. The way he's giving performances, but the point is, if somewhere down the line this guy drops form, then we have a Chilwell who's trying to pick up his form and his pace there. So I think so we're well covered in that left wing back area. But as it stands, Alonso again, he's going to be detrimental for us, and very, very crucial game for him as well.
Yeah, man. I can't put anything past Alonso at the moment. The guy has been absolutely flawless this season. There was some issues in a couple of the matches, I think against Villarreal. But look, that kind of stuff happens anyway. I mean, Daniel, it seems like Alonso's undroppable at the moment. I know Chilwell got his game against Aston Villa, but there is no way you can stop Alonso. And I feel like Thomas Tuchel has really sat down and worked with this player to understand the limitations of him and working with him to get the best out of him. He doesn't just crazily just bomb up like he used to before. Previously, he'd bomb up there and leave a gauging hole there, and it'll just create a lot of havoc, and then he didn't have the pace to come back. Whereas now, he's more sort of playing in that midfield area alongside the midfielders. He acts as one of the sort of key members for if you want the outlet to go to him, because he's tall, so he can win the headers for you in build-ups. He's very key on the build-ups as well. There's a lot of the times where we build up from the left side, and he makes very, very simple passes to midfield, and he finds it quite comfortable with them. But now what I'm seeing from him as well is those key passes from here. He'll release Havertz for the Villarreal goal against in the Super Cup, where Havertz then crossed it in for Ziyech to score. There were a few chances in Crystal Palace where he was in these sort of areas. He picks his time now as to when to attack the box. And let's be honest as well, for set pieces, corners, free kicks, he's become a bit of a threat. I mean, Daniel, this guy's a bit undroppable at the moment.
Yeah, I've been pleasantly surprised with his rejuvenation within this Chelsea setup. It seemed like he was on the he was second choice. Maybe there was talks of him possibly going to Inter Milan at the start of the season, but he has been, like you said, undroppable. It's been fantastic, and it's been really interesting seeing the way he's played. He's sort of adapted his game in a sense. I think there has been a lot of criticism in the past because, yes, he bombs forward and brings that attacking quality to your team, but in the past he has been liable defensively. But this season it hasn't been the case, and I think the Liverpool game away was a great example of the defensive qualities that he's really worked on. You look at that match. He didn't give Mohamed Salah a sniff, and he has been so consistent throughout the entirety of this season so far. Unfortunately, Ben Chilwell, this huge £50 million signing, has had to sit on the bench, but I don't think any rational Chelsea fan or football fan can really complain. He's been absolutely fantastic. So I've been so happy with his performances. Another interesting thing regarding Alonso, he has I can't remember the specific stat, but he's in the top 5 fullbacks in world football for key passes in the attacking third. So, whilst he's improved the defensive aspect of his game, he's still creating an abundance of chances for our attacking players. So, it's been an absolute, he's been a phenomenon this season, and, long may it continue.
100%. Ladies and gentlemen, look, I'm really sorry for the spammers. For some reason, YouTube doesn't have the slow mode option. I'm looking at it in settings. I just can't seem to find it. I do have that for normal videos. For some reason, Mohamed Uzair, I just don't have it for the live stream. I'm not really sure. I might have to contact the help desk to find out why. So do appreciate the mods, all the mods out there. Just block them. Don't time them out. Just block them. It's just ridiculous. These spammers. That's exactly what I'm trying to do is block them as much. And Football Star, look, man, please don't spam the same comment over and over again. We've seen it. We get what your point is, and just to all the people in the live chat, just make your comment. Just don't need to comment the same thing over and over again. I mean, we get what you're trying to say, so it's fine. Everyone's got a different perspective of seeing the games. But yeah, the mods, please try and get rid of these spammers and block them as much as you can. Hopefully it will go away very, very soon. We've got over 120 live right now. Smash the like button. First of all, let's get to 100 likes straight away. That's the target. Let's try and reach that target together. And if you're here for the first time as well, subscribe. Check out the boys and their socials in the description. We're going to start talking about the midfield now, which is going to be quite interesting. Lexaroni saying, "Sup with the spam." Look, man, I don't know. Spammers, it's just, I feel like they're bots. These must be bots. I don't think they're real people. It's just bots. Just, I don't know what's going on, man. But yeah, it is what it is. Daniel, let's talk about the midfield. I've already alluded to this in the beginning of the stream that I'm going with a 3 sort of midfield with 2 up front, and I've already said who my midfielders are: Jorginho, Kovacic, and Kante. Kante on the right, Kovacic on the left, Jorginho as the holding sort of register. Obviously, they'll all sort of stay close to Jorginho whenever they need to. If one bombs up, the other one will stay close. If the other one bombs up, then alternatively, whoever is the remaining midfielder will stay close to Jorginho. I mean, I'm going with Jorginho, Kante, Kovacic. Daniel, what's your selection here?
Yep, I'm following suit. I think that I'd assume that this is going to be the midfield that we're going to operate with in this match. We saw against Tottenham. Mason Mount came off
against Tottenham as well, right?
Yeah, it worked. It was brilliant. Kante really changed the pace. We were getting overrun in midfield, and I think Manchester City will operate in a similar fashion. They will look to dominate possession. So I think it'll be important that we can match them in the midfield. I understand that Thomas Tuchel's system, for the most part, has operated in a 3-4-3, but I think it's not a set thing. He's certainly looking to tinker with the system wherever may be, and I'm just not convinced right now with the front three. I don't know, it's not really clicking. So I think it's time we mix something up. We'll talk about the strikers later, obviously, but I think that's another dynamic. We talk about Romelu Lukaku, some of his best football, his two brilliant seasons at Inter Milan were suited to playing in this exact formation. So I personally am on board. I'm keen to hear Ishan's points because I understand that, you do sacrifice a bit of attacking impotence, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. But yeah, I'm back in the three in midfield.
I mean, Ishan, as Daniel said, we sacrifice the attacking impetus. I'd probably disagree with that because for me, players like Havertz and Ziyech and Callum and Mount to an extent, it's not like they've absolutely set it apart for us. If anything, this guy's probably been the most creative player for us. Kovacic against Aston Villa, that glamorous assist for Romelu Lukaku. I know his other two assists, the last one against Spurs, he literally just laid the ball off for Kante, and then Kante went for a Hollywood shot from long distance, and it got the ricochet and got in. He did the same thing for Chalobah as well against Palace, where he just laid the ball off. So I don't really consider those as assists, but Kovacic has looked far more threatening than Havertz, than Mount, than Hakim Ziyech, than Callum Hudson-Odoi. That's why I feel like people are not sort of giving this enough respect. Kante is a fantastic ball carrier, man. Him in transition, Kante can just drive from these sort of areas and literally catch the City players out. And when you've got these blockbuster players, which we'll talk about who they're going to be, I mean, one of them is going to be Lukaku for sure. Kante then becomes extremely, extremely dangerous with that front sort of two players. And then Kovacic with his guile as well in transition, he can pick out a pass. So for me, I'm not really worried about the creativity here. I mean, how are you feeling with this middle three?
Well, first of all, I agree with this three midfield. If we go out and play with this three midfielders, I would agree 100%. I would have no complaints. In fact, any team Thomas Tuchel brings up, I'd agree 100%. But let's flip the coin and hear me out, right?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, for me, I think so. Maybe if we, the thing here is if we talk about the front two, definitely we'll be talking about this later. But I think so. Having an attacking midfielder, either of Mason Mount, like we had usually have Mason Mount or a Ziyech or a Havertz. I think so that adds another finishing threat. I really want our team to have more finishing threat. Now, with this formation, we all know that these three midfielders do not bring that finishing threat. I completely agree with you, Miz, that Kovacic, Kante, these guys have been producing and creating more chances than what Mason Mount, Kai Havertz, Ziyech has been creating for us. Totally agree. And then Kovacic has been producing, I think so, he's got the most assists for us. He's got 4 assists in 5 games, if I'm not wrong. So, yeah, that's what. If we go with this three, fine. But the thing here is, looking at the front two players, I just it's definitely quite evident that Lukaku will be definitely surrounded with a couple of defenders for sure. He'll be man marked heavily. That is for sure. And
but you know what, Ishan? They do play a high line. Like City don't play a low block. They want to attack as well. And at the moment, I think they've got injury concerns at the back. Besides Diaz, Nathan Ake. So I feel like with two, that kind of caliber of player, like Diaz struggled in Euros as well. And since Tuchel took over, I'm not really sure if Diaz has been a supreme defender. So I'm not entirely worried that Lukaku's going to get troubled by Ake and Diaz.
Yeah, it is. But it's the man marking miss. I mean, doesn't matter if you're man marked by Diaz, Ake, or maybe Fernandinho and Ake. But if you got two players around you, it's always difficult. It's always difficult. You'll be able to struggle to even ask or demand for the passes there because you're already covered by two players, right? So I think so. It's been the story for Lukaku all in all that he's been heavily man marked whenever he's played, and it's quite evident now. For me, I think so. If this guy, one more guy, is heavily man marked, if we have the space creator, the sort of a guy who just tries there, but he's unable to finish. He forgot how to finish. But that's where my concern is. The other three guys, let's not get mistaken. Kante had a beautiful goal last match, although it was a deflection, but still he had an absolute beautiful goal. It's not like that they absolutely do not know how to finish. It's just that maybe if we introduce a Kai Havertz there, maybe I know he's not had the best of his runs, but if we introduce a Kai Havertz there, that might introduce a guy who could actually go out on empty spaces and finish better. My concern is just that, and otherwise, if we play with this three midfielders, which we played against Tottenham Hotspur, and we looked very confident and very fluidic. It works for me, but my just concern is comes to the finishing. Where
who would you, if you didn't play with the three in midfield, how would you set up? Who would you
that's the
sacrifice
difficult part.
between?
Yeah,
who would you sacrifice?
That's difficult part, isn't it? Because you have to play Jorginho and Kante, and Kovacic has been playing so good recently. He's been assisting.
It'd be crazy to drop Kovacic now.
Yeah,
it'd be too crazy.
That's the hard part. So one have to be sacrificed, and I don't know, man. That's the tough call. But for me, I think so. If I had to make one, I would put a rock on my heart and have to maybe sacrifice Kovacic and bring in a Kai Havertz. I know that sounds quite injustice. I know that, but maybe I want more attacking prowess in the team. I want more finishing and more clinicality to the team, and maybe that's what Kai Havertz brings in. So for me, it would be this, but please don't make any mistakes about it. If we go with this three midfielders, I'd be totally happy with it. But my perspective is, no, we'll have one number 10 and we'll have two up top. So maybe Kai Havertz, if he plays, he'll be the lone number 10. And then, we got the other two as well.
Basically, this is what you would have preferred, that
Kai on the
Kante...
lone number 10. Lone number 10.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
so like this.
3-4-1-2, exactly.
Like that. Okay. Fair enough. I mean, it does put a good attacking sort of sense. But as much as that, I'm okay with Kai playing that role, boys. It's just I feel like off the ball, he's not going to give me what Mount gives me. Do you know what I mean? Like, he's not going to be pressing intensely the way Mount does.
Another spanner here. If Mount was fit, I would definitely have kept Mount there.
I think Mount then gets a big shout. Then Mount definitely gets a big shout. I rather Kai be like that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true. That's why having known the fact that Mount's injured, that's why right at the beginning I said if we go with this three midfielder scenario with Kovacic, Jorginho, and Kante, it would make total sense to me. But I was just thinking from the finishing prospect, if we had Kai, maybe another guy who would just capitalize on the empty spaces and finish better. So that's what I was thinking. But if we go with this midfield three, it's fine with me.
No, 100% understood. I mean, let's not forget, Kai is the one who scored that, historic goal for us.
He's a big player, right? He scored against Liverpool as well.
Exactly, man. I mean, the Champions League winner. Daniel, Lukaku's a shoo-in. Let's not even discuss about that. I think it'll be a waste of time to talk about whether he's going to start. I think he's definitely starting. This one here, Daniel.
Yep.
Tell me, your man, because we all know who he's going to be. He scored his first Chelsea goal this season against Aston Villa, so he's off the mark. And he's looked very good with Lukaku. So, your man here.
Yep, I'm giving Timo the nod in this match.
There you go.
It's tough because, like Ishan said, Kai Havertz has delivered to an extent in the big games, scoring against Liverpool, of course, scoring that historic goal in the Champions League final against Manchester City. But in this fixture, I think Timo Werner should be rewarded for his performance. Yes, he was playing in a sole, or he scored the goal operating as a number 9. But I think this man needs to start. I mean, we've talked about the prospect of playing two up top with Romelu and Lukaku and Timo Werner. But I think now's the time. I think these two players suit each other so well with that physical presence of Romelu Lukaku, and then the pace, the athletic capabilities of Timo Werner. Yeah. When Timo Werner was at the top of his game at RB Leipzig, he was operating in a 2-striker system. People forget how clinical he was, or how efficient he was operating in that system. So I think this is a system that maybe this is a long-term goal of Thomas Tuchel's to operate with a front two, but I certainly think this is the game to try it. We Timo Werner, what he brings, people are so critical of his goal scoring or his finishing capabilities, but his runs off the ball are going to give defenders an absolute nightmare. We saw what he did. Champions League winner. And remember, in that final against Manchester City, that goal is instigated by a Timo Werner run where he draws John Stones out. Mason Mount then has all this space to play that pass in, and Kai Havertz finishes sublimely. Now, I understand if Thomas Tuchel does opt for Kai Havertz, I can't have too many complaints, but at the same time, I think Timo Werner has to be rewarded for his goal midweek. Strikers
with Lukaku, Daniel. He looks so comfortable with Lukaku.
It just makes sense. Lukaku at his best operated with a striker in Lautaro Martinez, who was, probably a bit more technically gifted to Timo Werner and not as athletic, but it's a similar profile in a sense. I just think these two were made to play together. And I just want to see it. I want to see these two. I just want to try it out because we haven't been brilliant over the course of this season in the attacking sense. Romelu Lukaku has bailed us out in a couple fixtures. So now let's give it a try. I just think this is the match to give Timo the nod.
No, you're absolutely right, Daniel. I mean, had players like Ziyech, Havertz, Callum Hudson-Odoi, obviously Mount's injured for this one, and Pulisic as well, ladies and gentlemen. He's still injured. He's not back yet. As Ishan and I, we spoke about it as soon as we heard about the injury, that he's probably going to be out for 2 weeks. So I'm not even going to be surprised if Pulisic doesn't play a single game before the international break. Quite possibly maybe come off the bench. And this is the thing. But I don't want to have a discussion about Pulisic in this particular scenario. He's injured. It is what it is. Hopefully he comes back well. But yeah, Daniel, just to go back to the Timo Werner and Lukaku, the shout is, it's not like Havertz, Mount, as I said, he's injured, so let's not worry about him. Ziyech, Callum Hudson-Odoi, it's not like they're setting up the world on fire like they deserve to keep playing, especially Ziyech. Ziyech has been poor the last 3 matches. He does not deserve to start. And I'm a massive Ziyech fan. You boys know this. The live chat knows this. I don't think he deserves to start. Havertz, he scored that goal against Liverpool. He scored that assist against, he got that assist against Villarreal. But he's been on and off as well. It's not like there's been consistency. If anything, Lukaku's looked obviously the brightest out of all of our attacking players. And Timo Werner, he's got that goal against Aston Villa. He looked very lively when he came on against Spurs with Lukaku. I'm willing to give this a chance. I know this brother has finishing issues. Ishan and I, we laughed about it in the last watch-along. He's got finishing issues, no doubt about that. But when Lukaku came on, he created chaos. He squared one ball for Lukaku against Aston Villa. Had Lukaku just held his run a little bit, goal, tap in. He then also produced, let's not forget, he produced the assist for Rudiger against Spurs as well. So, I mean, there is something going on here, and I'm willing to give this an opportunity. Let's go to Ishan, because I know Ishan's not too keen with Werner. To a certain degree, I'm not overly excited with his finishing, and I understand, Daniel, you're right. It's not like we can forget that he's banged in a lot of goals for Leipzig, and he did it with a key man up there with Poulsen. So this can happen. This can work. It needs to be given an opportunity. I mean, Ishan, do you want to give this an opportunity? Do you feel that it deserves an opportunity as well?
Yeah, it does. And I think so. I would start Timo as well. Look, even against Liverpool, I said the same thing. Teams who play high lines, that to naturally high lines, it would be the best match for Timo Werner to play alongside Lukaku, because both of these guys just can run through any defense line and just have loads of opportunities created together. Also, we've seen, Lukaku's goal against Aston Villa in the Premier League game, where we saw Timo Werner come off the bench and be the space creator that he is and create space for Lukaku, and Lukaku got the goal. So yeah, that's the thing that we've been discussing right from beginning, right since when we signed Lukaku. I'm repeatedly saying that maybe this is the key for Werner. This is the golden key for Werner to, be better than what he was. Maybe if not, maybe just feed off Lukaku. Just do that, but at least become better of the player what you are. Also for Lukaku, it'll be a complimentary, because just like Dan said, Lukaku was having Lautaro Martinez and Inter Milan, and both of these guys just created havoc. But Werner is I would say, a player with different capability. But again, even Werner is acquainted to play alongside, another striker with the likes of Poulsen that he did against with Leipzig, and maybe Lukaku would work. And like
Also,
I always
Ishan, I
say
just
this.
remembered. Remember Aston Villa, the third goal, the second goal that Lukaku scored. He points to Werner to drag the defenders away. Then Aspie puts the ball to Lukaku, and then Lukaku smashes it out. I feel like we're underestimating. I think Lukaku would like a player like Werner around him, because he'll open up a lot of gaps for him. As you said, the man marking, Werner could probably drag out some of the defenders for him.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was talking to you about, that Aston Villa goal. That just, Werner with his illusion type of run, he just naturally drags away the defenders, and the defenders, without even realizing, just follows Werner, because
It's
they want to
natural.
keep up.
It's a natural,
They
natural
want to
return.
keep up with the space.
Yeah.
Even knowing the fact that he's not good in finishing, but still he's that quick that the defenders want to keep a track on him, and they just don't want this guy to let loose of the defense line. So that's the, you guys might call him a space creator. I call him an illusionist. He's just an illusionist. That he drags defenders. When I think he would run, he just stops. When I think he would dribble, he doesn't. He just fades away. When I think he's gonna score, he doesn't. When I don't think he's gonna score, he scores. So he's an illusionist. No, but jokes aside, I think so. This is the way Werner, I feel, and I really, really hope this is going to work, because Lukaku is going to be there. If Werner does not finish, Lukaku is going to be there. The work of Werner is just to find Lukaku and complement Lukaku, and the other guys come up as well. But my only concern with this set of players is the apart from Lukaku and Marcus Alonso, the lack of finishing.
Bro, don't forget Alonso, bro. Put him here.
I just included him in the last moment. Apart from Lukaku and Marcus Alonso, there is a lack of finishing capability.
By the way, the defenders are chipping in lately. Rudiger, Silva. Rudiger now has come close quite a few times. Obviously, he's got that goal against Spurs.
Yeah, but again, I think so for Werner, this would be a game to just make an impact, make a mark, show the world his authority, that there is a positive sign. And we've seen the positive sign. It might not be the first time. We've seen Werner come off the bench a couple of times, and we've seen again Lukaku last match come off the bench and then complement Werner. And there was the whole positivity with the attacking going on, and I would expect the same in the next game. So let just both of these guys get unleashed. It's a high line. There's Nathan Ake, who's looking vulnerable to me at this point of time. Why not just exploit that and just thrash them maybe with 2-3 goals?
Man, that's what I'm hoping as well. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the lineup we've gone with, we've agreed with. Hope you've, more or less, it looks like you guys have agreed with this lineup as well. Obviously, barring few fans who are sort of thinking Aspie in RCB, and then, Reece James and right wing back. But besides that, more or less, we're pretty much agreeing on this. Mendy as the goalkeeper, he's back. He's been confirmed. He's starting. Rudiger, Silva, Andres Christensen, rounding up the back three. Alonso, Azpilicueta as the wing backs. Jorginho as the regista. Kovacic, Kante next to him. Timo Werner and Lukaku to run havoc up front. Let's have the score prediction. Ladies and gentlemen, we've got nearly 130, 140. We're almost, we're about 35 likes away from 100. It'll be brilliant, achievement if we can get 100 likes in the stream. You guys have been a massive supporter of the channel. Please, let's get to 100 likes. It's only 35 likes away, and we've got over 130 people. So if we can do that, that'd be much appreciated. And make sure to subscribe as well if you're here for the first time. Check out the boys and their socials in the description. Daniel, let's go with some score prediction. How are you feeling about this game?
Do you know, I'm nervous for this one because I think Manchester City haven't had a good start to the season, but I think this is a huge crunch fixture for them. So I don't know about this one. We haven't got our attacking lineup sorted. We haven't really looked brilliant going forward so far this season. So this is a pivotal fixture for Chelsea. I still do think that, it would probably be foolish not to have Chelsea as favourites, considering that they're top of the league, considering that Manchester City have struggled, particularly in their last Premier League match against Southampton. So with that being said, I think I'm going to go with a 2-1 victory, but I wouldn't be surprised if Kevin De Bruyne steps up. He hasn't really, had that much impact to the start of this season. This is a big match for him. But fingers crossed, Pep Guardiola just, Tuchel, who lives rent-free in his head, arguably, fingers crossed, he overanalyzes it. He starts De Bruyne in holding midfield or something ridiculous like that, and we can take advantage. But it's going to be a tough fixture for sure.
No, for sure.
But
Can you
2-1.
imagine?
2-1.
I'd take the 2-1 for sure, man. Can you imagine KDB as a holding midfielder? I mean, something outrageous for.
We saw Gundogan last year, so you never know.
It could happen. Maybe even Nathan Ake as holding midfielder.
Yeah.
You never know. But yeah, I just remember something whilst Daniel was just speaking. Guys, do participate in the poll. I've got the poll out, and I'm pretty sure if it was up to Daniel, he would have selected the middle one, which would be a bit nervous. I'll take the draw, but obviously he's gone with the win, 2-1. But he's not overly confident, but he is going with a sneaky win. Ishan, before I get you to give your score prediction, I'm confident, man. I don't know. It's not overconfidence. It's not arrogance. I'm very positive about how we play. We've got clutch goal scorer Lukaku, who can score from our defense as well. Marcus Alonso, let's not forget. City, they look dodgy. I know they've pasted Norwich and they've pasted Arsenal, but they haven't really clicked into gears completely. They don't have that striker that they desperately wanted. I'm going with a 3-0 victory for us at home. I'm confident. Lukaku's going to score 2. Timo Werner 1. For me, it's written in the stars. That's how I'm looking at it. I'm very confident. Ladies and gentlemen, participate in the poll if you're here. To let me know what your feeling is. At the moment, 64% think they're very confident, 29% bit nervous, 6% scared. So, Ishan, what's your score prediction?
Yeah, I'm confident, to be very honest. I'm confident, but let's not write off Man City. They're the champs, but I'm sorry, champs, you're not going to score against us. I'm going with a 2-0 Chelsea.
Brilliant. Well, there
and
you
yes,
go.
Dan, how did you make a 1 to them? Who's going to score from them? I don't think so, man. Less of that.
Kevin De Bruyne from holding midfield.
I love it. Ladies and gentlemen, hope you guys have enjoyed this preview. Do check out the pinned message, which has got the preview part 1, where I've sat down with Saj, who's a Man City fan. So you'll get the Man City perspective there. That's part 1. This is part 2. So as soon as this is over, which will be very soon, go check that out as well. As I said, it's pinned. Check out the boys and their socials in the description. Please subscribe to Daniel's YouTube channel. The link is there. And follow Ishan on Instagram as well. And follow me on Instagram. I'm trying to grow that particular platform. So if you get the opportunity, please follow me on Instagram. The link is all in the description. We are 30 likes away. We've still got 120 people live. Smash the like button, guys. Let's get the likes up to 100. As I said, it will be a brilliant achievement to get 100 likes for the stream. You guys have enjoyed it. You guys stuck around for the entire show. So please smash the like button. If you're here for the first time, subscribe. Until next time, we'll see you tomorrow. Ishan and I will be back. Watch along just when the lineup comes up. Probably about 20 minutes, about 30 minutes before the game starts, we'll start the stream. The boys, Jonathan and Taryn, will be at the match again, so we'll have them straight from Stamford Bridge. So we'll do the watch along, we'll do the review. So do expect you guys to be there tomorrow for that. Until next time, see ya.